Hot news about Jungkook's house predicted fantastic price. Army shock. Nothing has surprised the South Korean entertainment world more than the latest news that has exploded online about BTS's new home Jungkook. A story that seemed to tear the line between fact and fantasy, inviting admiration, curiosity, as well as fierce debate among the army and international media. How not? The house that was just bought by Jungkook is rumored to have a price that is so fantastic, almost unreasonable, even for the size of a world-class celebrity. And even more astonishing, some media claim that the price of the house is able to rival the palaces owned by Asian conglomerates. Army was shocked, between believing and not believing, whether it was true that the house was only for Jungkook or there was actually a hidden reason behind the purchase of this shocking property. Jungkook House is not just a magnificent building that stands firmly in the elite area of South Korea. It is not just an ordinary residence filled with white walls, large windows, and luxurious interiors in the style of modern architecture. More than that, this house is considered a symbol of the life journey of a young boy who was once just a shy trainee from Busan, now transformed into a global superstar who owns property with unimaginable value. Foreign media even highlight it as the hidden palace of K-pop idol, as if this house is not only to live in, but also a living monument to Jungkook's hard work, sacrifice, and love for his family. However, behind all the glittering spotlight, a big question arises that triggers controversy. Why did Jungkook buy such an expensive house amid the many issues that afflict the Korean entertainment world, especially about social inequality and the pressure experienced by the younger generation? Is the house just a gift to himself after years of nonstop work? Or is there a hidden purpose that is not yet known to the public? The news about the fantastic price of this house first emerged when an international property media revealed that the market value of the building could reach hundreds of billions of rupiah, numbers that make anyone gape in disbelief. There are even wild rumors that Jungkook's house could rival the properties of oil sultans in the Middle East. On the other hand, some have questioned the motives behind buying these homes, calling it a form of excessive show-off of wealth, especially in the midst of unstable world economic conditions. But is it true that Jungkook just wants to show off his wealth? Or is it that there is an emotional side that not many people know, about how a child wants to provide the highest comfort for his family, especially his mother, who is touted as the most valuable figure in his life? This is the point where the story of Jungkook's house turns from a mere property issue into an emotional story that touches the hearts of anyone who hears it. Armies around the world, of course, do not stand still. Social media has been filled with lengthy discussions. Some defended Jungkook furiously, saying that he had the right to have a house as expensive as anything because it was all the result of his hard work from a young age. Some are cynical, insinuating that houses with exorbitant prices will only widen the gap between celebrities and fans. However, behind all the commotion, there is no denying the fact that this house is now one of the most powerful symbols of Jungkook's career. Just imagine, a 15-year-old boy who once had to live away from his parents to pursue a dream is now able to gift something that is even called a modern palace to his family. In an old interview, Jungkook once said that his dream was to make his parents live without flaws. These simple words now seem to find their true form in the form of luxury homes that make the world stunned. What makes this story even more dramatic is the rumor that the house was actually built in the strictest confidence. In fact, HYB, the agency that oversees BTS, was not involved in the purchase process at all. Jungkook is said to have taken the decision personally, even hiding it from many, as if he wanted to keep the house a truly private space away from the camera. This fact further triggers a question mark. Why did Jungkook choose the path secretly? Hasn't his life always been open to fans? Some entertainment observers even mentioned that Jungkook's new home is a clear proof of the freedom of an artist who has been known to be bound by the strict rules of the K-pop industry. It is as if, by buying the house, Jungkook wants to show that he is no longer a teenager who is always controlled, but rather a mature man who is capable of making big decisions in his life. And of course, decisions of this magnitude cause layered reactions: admiration, jealousy, pride, as well as controversy. What about the army? Those who have always supported Jungkook in his ups and downs now have to face mixed feelings. There are those who cry because they think Jungkook can finally give the best life to his mother. Some are shocked because they never thought the price of his house could be that high. And some are worried that such a large house will make Jungkook even more isolated from the outside world, or instead become a place where he can find true peace. If we look deeper, this house is not just a luxury building. He is a symbol of struggle, a symbol of a child's love for parents, a symbol of an idol's transition from adolescence to adulthood. But the media is still the media. I'd rather see the controversial side. Is it appropriate for a young person to spend that much money just on a house? Write an article in the Western media. Is this a form of arrogance or simply a need for privacy? Ask the others. However, for most of the army, the answer is obvious. This house is a living proof that Jungkook never forgets his promise to his family. The promise of a child who grew up in limitations, who once felt the bitterness of the struggle, and now turned the situation around with pride. Isn't that supposed to be the true meaning of success? Interestingly, other rumors say that this house is also equipped with various secret facilities that other artists rarely have. There are those who mention a super sophisticated private studio, a hidden garden designed directly by a world-class architect, to a special room for his mother to be able to enjoy the days in peace. If these rumors are true, then it is clear that this house is not just a symbol of wealth, but also the embodiment of love and dedication. The story of Jungkook's fantastically prized home eventually became more than just entertainment news. It is a mirror to many people of how hard work, sacrifice, and the love of family can give birth to something thrilling. Army may be shocked by the fantastic numbers mentioned, but underneath it all, there is a much deeper human story. The story of a child who just wants to make sure his mother can sleep peacefully in the most comfortable house in the world.